Star Seraphs are an archetype comprised of light fairy monsters, first introduced in the TCG back in the Zexal era of 2013 within the set Judgment of the Light. Other than some Super 6 alliteration, the Star Seraphs never really did much. Then one day, Konami decided to release the set World Superstars, an interesting import set that had the much coveted prismatic secret rarity within it. Two cards that got this classic foiling treatment were two Star Seraph cards, aptly named Stick and Chair due to their artwork. Though this is a much less regal name, this engine was named as such through a fond respect for an engine who was splashed into a multitude of decks due to just needing 3 copies of each of these two new cards. It never made Star Seraph's meta, but it helped out a lot of random decks and managed to put Star Seraph somewhat on the map in the mid-2010s. I'm JC Theater Yu-Gi-Oh!, and I welcome you to today's throwback episode of Engine Evaluation, Stick and Chair. Hey guys, if you learned about this engine today from me and you're considering picking up the engine in real life to use in your decks, consider using the links in the description down below. That'll help me out a little bit since I helped you out a little bit by showing you this engine. Thank you so much for watching. Now, on to the evaluation. Stick, whose full name is Star Seraph Scepter, is a level 4 light fairy, as all the Star Seraphs are, that has 1800 attack and 400 defense. When this pointy boy is normal or special summoned, you can add 1 Star Seraph from your deck to your hand except another copy of itself. An Xyz monster that was summoned using 3 or more monsters, including Scepter, gains the following effect. When it's summoned, destroy a card on the field, and then draw a card. The second part of this 2-card combo, and the card you're going to hopefully have in your hand along with Scepter, is his good friend Star Seraph Chair Sovereignty. This 800 attack, 2000 defense office furniture stays on brand because it cannot be used for an Xyz summon unless it requires 3 or more materials. If you normal or special summon a Star Seraph monster, however, you can special summon him from the hand, and then you can draw a card. It won't come up too much in the engine, but if that card you drew was a Star Seraph monster, you can special summon it. Now, how do these cards actually work together to form an engine? Well, the only thing you need is a way to get both of them in your hand, and then the combo is ready to go. First, you summon Stick, and then activate the effect of Chair in your hand. Have Stick be good old Chainlink 1 and Chair be Chainlink 2, so that way you can search another Chair with Stick, special summon out your original copy of Chair, and then respond to the first Chair's special summon with the second one's effect to special summon itself out as well. Basically, you use Stick, get Chair, use Chair, and then use Chair again, and you have 3 level 4 monsters perfectly equipped to go into a rank 4 with 3 or more materials. The Chairs already gave you 2 draws, and the Stick will give you a 3rd once you Xyz summon. This whole engine is useful for the drawing it can provide, as well as the ability to spam Xyz materials. Of course, now with the advent of Master Rule 4, this combo netting you 3 monsters on board from 1 normal summon may also be used for a Link 3 monster. Though a 1-card decode talker that nets you some draws may be pretty decent, another common option is to use these guys in the way they were meant to be used, making a rank 4 requiring 3 or more materials. So you don't have to. I've looked up on Yu-Gi-Oh's official card database all rank 4s requiring 3 or more materials. So, without further ado, here's the list of all Xyz you can use in this engine. Bujinki Amaterasu. You can detach a material from this card during either player's turn, and if you choose your turn, you can special summon one of your level 4 or lower banished monsters, and if you choose your opponent's turn, you can add it to your hand instead. If you run a deck that banishes your monsters, this is definitely a possibility. Evilswarm Ouroboros. This is the usual target to go along with this engine 90% of the time. Since this is a corrupted Trishula, Dragon of the Ice Barrier, its effect has similar themes to the almighty once-banned creature. Once per turn, if you detach a material from this monster, you can activate one of 3 effects, with each effect only being able to be activated once while Ouroboros is on the field. You can bounce an opponent's card back to the hand, send a random card from your opponent's hand to the graveyard, or banish 1 card in your opponent's graveyard. With these first 2 effects being quite useful, one can see why this is the usual Xyz the Star Seraphs go into. Gagagigo the Risen is a beatstick. If you're playing for fun and need more battle power, I guess why not? Knight Papilloperative becomes a bigger beater than Gagagigo, but... Number 102, Star Seraph Sentry. An effect in which once per turn you can detach an Xyz material to have the attack of an opponent's monster and negate its effects, as well as self-protection, makes this guy pretty decent. Run it for the style points if nothing else. Number 104, Masquerade. This guy lets you negate an opponent's monster effect during either player's battle phase by removing an Xyz material from him. If you do this, you can even inflict 800 burn to your opponent. Additionally, once per turn, you can send the top card of your opponent's deck to the graveyard. Maybe this has some niche uses, but for the most part, don't even think about it. Number 105, Battle Boxer Star Cestus. It's a Battle Boxer. Run only for the memes. Number 10, Illuminite. This can help you dig deeper in the deck by once per turn detaching an Xyz material to send a card from your hand to the grave to draw a card from the deck. If you're running the Star Seraph engine in general to dig deeper into things, this may actually be a viable option. Number 16, Shockmaster. A really great negate. If this card were to ever be unbanned, there's no doubt in my mind this would be the main choice of what to go into. Number 32, Sharkdrake. This card has an interesting battle effect that lets you detach a material once per turn when he destroys a monster by battle to resummon that monster back to your opponent's side of the field with 1,000 less attack, and he can attack again, presumably over the same monster. Do this if you want to push for game. It's definitely not terrible. Number 57, Tri-Head Dust Dragon. When he's special summoned, you can have him gain the attack of 1 monster your opponent controls. If your opponent controls more cards than you do, you can detach in order to choose a main monster card zone or a spell and trap zone and make it unusable while he's on the field. Interesting stun effect, but for the most part, it isn't really worth it. Number 69, Heraldry Crest. Not good. Number 91, Thunderspark Dragon. You can detach 3 materials from him to destroy all other face-up monsters on the field. For the sake of this engine, this is the effect you'll be using with him, for he has a Raigeki effect if you detach 5 materials, but overall this Dark Hole effect that doesn't destroy himself is pretty decent. Run it to deal with bigger boards potentially, but just run Raigeki and Dark Hole maybe instead. Number C39, Utopia Ray. It's too situational and should be overlaid over regular Utopia for style points, but it's still technically a correct option. Number S39, Utopia Prime. See previous. One-Eyed Skill Gainer. Relies on your opponent running Xyz monsters. No. Stellarknight Deltaros. Having a once per turn detach to pop effect is good. Additionally, as long as he has materials, your summons cannot be negated, which is interesting but welcome protection. He's definitely a plausible target, especially if you're the last person on Earth still running Tellarknights. Tin Archduke. Nope. Unformed Void. Nope. Vylon de Sigma. I want this card to be good so badly, but nope. Zodiac Hammerkong. No point, just, again, a technical option. Zodiac Tiger Mortar. And instead of going out with a bang, this mortar is having us go out with a fizzle as a technical but bad target. Ultimately, the stick and chair engine can be used in any deck needing draw power in exchange to giving up a normal summon for the sake of it. Honestly, Stick and Chair are past their prime, and maybe the best thing to do with them is to run them in some Table 500 Crusadia build and make a Decode Talker and then special summon out the other Crusadias to the links or something. If there are any decks still out there worth running this engine in, let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and if you liked the vid, consider subscribing. I'm JC Theater Yu-Gi-Oh! See ya!